Well, thank you for staying. Time now for the AM News. And in our first story, the new Patriotic Party has condemned content of a leaked tape which captured an unnamed senior police officer and a suspected bigwig of the MPP allegedly plotting the removal of the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufudampare. According to General Secretary Justin Frimpong, it will be unfortunate for anyone to link the MPP to the tape because the claims are unsubstantiated. He spoke to Samuel Mbura of our political desk.
It's rather unfortunate that they will make such an unsubstantiated allegation against the new Patriotic Party. To start with, IGP was appointed by His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and the Constitution gives him the power to do so. And I'm not sure when His Excellency was making the appointment, he consulted me as General Secretary or the National Chairman. It is his prerogative. So he has the power to decide if the IGP continues or his appointment could be terminated or if a certain appointment could also be given to him. So isn't that here or not there?
So what's your official stance as a party on this tape?
Well, unfortunately, it's something that as a party we condemn it. To start with, it's something that we condemn as a party. But at the end of the day, you also ask yourself, how did all these things happen? Was it a stage thing? Was it a setup? Who went there to record it? And what was the intention of the person who went to also record it and also leaked it out? You should also ask that question.
So is there a possibility that the party will also conduct its independent investigation to know which party member was involved in that alleged tape?
Well, I don't know which party person you are talking about. And at the end of the day, it does not lie in the purview of the party. How can the party come here and conduct an investigation into it? In what capacity? Tell me, in what capacity?
Because the claim is that MPP people were involved in that plot.
Well, so far as we are aware as a party, we are not involved. We don't know who went there to record it. And I believe the national security, the police service, have all the requisite personnel and resources to do their own investigation.
Do you support the parliamentary inquiry into this tape?
Well, it lies in the purview of Parliament. They have the power to do so. So if in their own wisdom they feel they need to investigate, so be it.
Meanwhile, National Chairman of the MPP, Stephen Ntim, denounced the activities of LGBTQI+ in Ghana. He says the party believes in the religious and cultural values that frown against the practice and will not go contrary to such beliefs.
The new Patriotic Party, which I represent as National Chairman, wishes to articulate explicitly, in no uncertain terms, without any bells and whistles, that we have a position on the topic that is making the rounds, not just in Ghana, but across the globe. What is the position of the new Patriotic Party when it comes to LGBTQ? I'm sure most of the people here, if not all, will say that Ghana frowns upon the LGBTQ. Correct me if I'm wrong. Why would I, Stephen Ntim, why would our General Secretary, Justin Frimpong Kodua, why would this able national organizer national third vice chairman and all the men here and also the women here stoop so low and opt for LGBTQ? I want to state emphatically, without any fear of equivocation, that the new Patriotic Party that I chair will never support LGBTQ.
Let's get into our next story now. And residents of Ayopia in the Bongo district in the Upper East region, where President Akufo-Addo first cut a sort for the One Village, One Dam project to commence, says the dam dries up shortly after Christmas. Now, the dams built to aid dry season farming are incapable of retaining enough water and dry up by January every year. They still value the project and want government to bring contractors back to the site to do a better job. Jojo Kobina brings you excerpts of our hotline documentary titled Thirsty Dams.
With despair in her eyes, Atenga Arungo stares at a dry, shallow dam and contemplates how it would have made her life simple. She counted her eggs long before they hatched. She thought access to water would ensure a boom in her farming business. Her joy has been cut short, and she wants government, as a matter of urgency, to find a solution to the thirsty dry dam.
When the president came, he said he would construct a dam for us. We were excited. He said the water will help us cultivate vegetables during the dry season. Unfortunately, we are unable to farm during the dry season because the dam dries up. There's no water. After Christmas, the dam dries up completely.
Solomon represents the youth here. He had vowed not to travel to southern Ghana for odd jobs. But staying in Bongo without a job is giving him ideas of leaving home. In his estimation, the dams were not properly constructed. The spillway is close to the reservoir, so the water washes away quickly after the rains.
When the rains comes at once, the water, the speedway is speeding for us, so the water cannot relax for a meantime. So we expect that when government came back tomorrow, and so that you expand this place for us, so that we can still make our dry crops, so that we can get what we can eat for us.
He is backed by another peasant farmer.
The embankment is separated from the reservoir that is created to contain the water, and the size of the reservoir too is very small. Where the spillways have also been kept is very close to the reservoir. So little water in the reservoir, which is already small, when the reservoir is full, the rest of the water spills out. So the dams are not able to contain enough water to help us do dry season farming and also water our animals. So that is basically the problem with the dams. Weak embankments, poorly constructed spillways, small reservoirs, or the reservoirs are too small to contain water. So basically they dry up in no time at all. After the rains, it doesn't really take a month or two before you realize that these dams are drying up.
Now, 2 people died after an illegal mining pit they were working in collapsed at Odumase in the Asante Central Municipality of the Ashanti region. The 2 were part of a group of illegal miners working in a concession belonging to the Northern Ashanti Mines Limited. Many of the mining companies' concessions lie unprotected, becoming a haven for dangerous illegal mining joints in the town. Erastus Cesaredonko was at the scene of the incident and now reports.
Asante Odumase is known for deep pits illegal mining, eating into age-old mining pits and concessions. Digging beneath homes is a common practice which has so far claimed 1 life. Saturday's tragedy struck beneath these high-tension electric poles. This illegal mining activity within the concession of the Northern Ashanti Mining Limited has claimed 2 lives.
Now, what these illegal miners are doing here is that they use these machines, these chamfan machines. They dig beneath the ground over there and they bring out the produce here and they wash them over here, so creating a sludge that winds up beneath this load. So these machines you see here were the ones they were working with. The guys who were down the pit were working inside here, digging beneath the earth here, creating a big hole over there. So they were scooping the raw material full of gold, bringing it up here for washing. So whilst there, this whole earth became very loose. So beneath there, whilst they were digging, it collapsed and came on them, killing 2. 1 escaped unscathed.
It took rescuers hours to excavate the remains of the 2 miners.
I am now boy to me, yeah, and I hold it. I hold it, will be never Yamasuna at Aichi. A techie basis hours. I started best, my fans a bear night. In Suno, started and night or night. And now, yeah, prepare the money momo. Oh, boy, I could cry or Tibemi, or Tibemi, Steven. What do you feel better? Oh, bear 29.
The incident has shocked many, but it will not stop these miners whose colleagues have died from salvaging what is left of the materials they were digging for. Mining in this area perhaps will not stop. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Odumase, Asante Central, Ashanti region.
In our next story, the Ministry of Energy says it is working to popularize the use of electric-powered vehicles in Ghana. Deputy Energy Minister Herbert Krapah says the country has enough excess power to promote the use of these vehicles. He's been speaking at a consultative workshop on electric cars in Cape Coast.
According to Herbert Krapah, the Ministry of Energy is hoping to leverage on the excess power capacity to promote the use of electric cars in Ghana.
Well, as you know, electric vehicles, as the name suggests, is powered by electricity. As a ministry, our responsibility is to ensure that there's enough electricity generated, adequate electricity generated, not only for residential use, but for commercial and industrial use as well. And electric vehicles fit directly into the mandate that we have to make sure that even though we have excess capacity, we are looking forward to a time where if all motor users in Ghana, vehicle users in Ghana are using electric vehicles, there's enough electricity to power these vehicles. As it stands, the research that the Energy Commission has done shows that we have capacity to power these vehicles, but you understand that the number of vehicles that we use in the country will continue to grow, and the electricity generation will also continue to grow in that regard. Of course, availability goes with affordability, and that is why we're working under the Renewable Energy Program to ensure that we're introducing more renewable into the mix. The more renewables we introduce into the mix, the more we're able to drive the cost down, and the more sustainable it is as well for the global conversation.
Central Regional Minister Justina Marigodasan was excited that the region has been chosen as one of the areas that's key in pursuit of this agenda. She says the exploration of lithium in the region makes the region pivotal in the scheme of things.
One aspect that made us very happy as a region was a discovery of lithium in our region in large quantities. We know they are now exploring it. And looking at the e-vehicles, then it means that the batteries and other gadgets that are going to be used in the vehicles will be coming from the lithium. So as a region, what we're doing, asking the people in the region to do is for us to come together, sit round table, and then have a suggestion as how we're going to leverage on the lithium that we have in the region, so that even if it's a battery plant or industry that we're going to put up.
Chairman of the Cape Coast Garages, Patrick Kojo Edudonko, called for more support to enable them adapt to the changes that are coming. It's a good thing that's coming, but we feel government always forgets us, and when they talk technical, we are always taken out. When government implemented a free SHS education, initially the technical aspect was not free, but now it's free. If they mean business, they should collaborate with us and even select some of us to go and learn about some of the things associated with electric vehicles.
In the arena, me as a garage chairman, Cape Coast, not me so me cannot abide no swasui mo abuanemum, dear Madame Cans or Baba Fine or dear Quabruchi, Nemu Yakusiano, and Ebe Cancran, Ebeke Kumasi, but Cape Coast as a galagino, as a chairman, Metisusiano, Ebebua, Niansu Yakusiani Bibiacoso.
Now, strengthening the capacity of healthcare students and professionals to meet growing demands for primary healthcare in Ghana has become crucial. A greater part of this involves nurturing potential entrepreneurs to build resilient health ventures in the country. Now, more than 100 primary healthcare workers and tutors from health training institutions are receiving training in health entrepreneurship. There's more in this report.
The program, organized by KNUST Africa Higher Education Health Collaborative in partnership with MasterCard Foundation, is being held simultaneously in 3 regional capitals, including Sunyani, Tamale, and Takrady. The fortnight event, spearheaded by the Health Entrepreneurship pillar of the KNUST Africa Higher Education Health Collaborative, seeks to empower primary health care workers and tutors of nursing and midwifery institutions to nurture potential entrepreneurs to build resilient health ventures in Ghana. Under the Health Entrepreneurship pillar, 355 trained trainers at 77 KNUST affiliated health training institutions, as well as 560 public-private workers, will be trained with the potential to reach over 24,000 young people during the first phase. Professor Wilberforce Owusu Ansah is the Health Entrepreneurship pillar lead.
Current one that we have started is targeting at 2 different cohorts. The first cohort, which we call the Entrepreneurship Empowerment TOT for affiliated institutions, focuses on training nursing and midwifery institutions tutors so that they can now provide training to help businesses to be set up by nursing and midwifery students. So the focal point in this regard is to be able to reach out to the nursing institutions and particularly nursing and midwifery students so that we empower them to be able to set up not only any ordinary businesses but scalable businesses, or in our quest to address the emerging and teeming unemployed situation we find ourselves. So dealing with the students directly will be challenging given the budget that you have. So the best approach was to train their tutors so that we can supervise the trainers, their tutors, to be able to train them. The other training program is earmarked, which we call it community-based TOT for PHC workers. And here again, the focus is to reach out to the public PHC workers dotted across the length and breadth of the country.
The participants were expected of acquiring essential entrepreneurial knowledge to pass on their peers.
So I'm coming for this program to be able to acquire more knowledge on the best way I could use to channel my staffs to have more interest in their community or in the work than traveling abroad.
So what I'm expecting is this training will broaden our knowledge on where we are supposed to invest as managers of the healthcare industry.
To grasp as much as possible all the knowledge base and health entrepreneurship.
Well, that's how we cap off the news on that entrepreneurial note. But stay with us. Up next, we serve you the news review with Suleimana Brahma of the Media Foundation for West Africa.